What's good, YouTube land? Next up, we're going to have to go into some plot again. So I'm not going to say I called Kengo's next power-up, because if anyone who's watched Tiga could follow along with the pattern of what they were doing, but, you know, I'm glad I caught on to the pattern, so we do have to talk spoilers. So we have to talk about the Eternity Core, which is the big MacGuffin of Trigger season. It's basically this unlimited energy resource, so to speak. It's a source of great power that's locked up, and the bad guys want it. And Haruki has, Kengo has to protect it, because it turns out he is truly the embodiment or the human form of Trigger, even though he didn't realize it originally. And they did some time traveling shenanigans where he went back millions of years to when the giants first appeared, and was able to convince Trigger to return, become good. Because thankfully, Ultraman Trigger actually gets a unique form for his dark, evil original incarnation. Because if you recall, Tiga's dark form was basically just him but black. Like nothing was really different. He was just his main color was black. That's all that was different. So at least Trigger gets some new things that make him look significantly different and stand out as dark Trigger. Like he gets crazy spikes, like H.R. Geiger inspired spikes on his back, and nice armor. I liked Dark Trigger for as long as it lasted. But throughout all that shenanigans, Kengo did obtain a portion of the Eternity Core's power, because one of his teammates is the reincarnation of Yuzare, who's basically the guardian of the Eternity Core. She's guarded it for forever, and I say reincarnation. She's basically the offspring, many generations ancestor of Yuzare. So that gave Kengo the Glitter Trigger Hyper Key, the power of the Eternity Core. And I actually like the little details in the show that Kengo can't control the power of the Eternity Core. It also gives out so much power that if he doesn't finish the fight quickly, I like those little touches that make Ultraman feel a little bit more realistic. Not too much, not going too far, but just those little touches, he can't control it and it's outputting way too much power. It's just little things that ground it a tiny bit more. So there's a picture of Glitter Trigger, a rare orange form for an Ultraman. Say what you will about Ultraman, they do tend to lean towards the same color schemes over and over and over again. Silver and red, silver, red, and blue, silver and blue. So the only other orange Ultraman or woman I can think of is Ultra Woman Grigio from Ultraman Rube, which I still haven't finished watching, and I need to get back to eventually. I don't like the transformation gimmick, which is why I still don't have it. But we do need, in my opinion, more variety in Ultraman, because purple in itself is also a rare color, because you got Tiga, and anybody who uses Tiga's powers are pretty much the only ones who have purple. Trigger now, because he's the modern day Tiga, but we need more purple and orange. But I quite like this form. The sort of triangle of the color timer is definitely unique amongst Ultraman. From what I've seen, it's generally what do I have? It do I have a good example? It's generally sort of one contained item, like a diamond or something like that. So like a segmented triangle like that actually looks pretty cool. I also like the segmented crests on his head, all done out in gold. That looks really cool. There's also a QR code if you want it. But on the back, it has the functions of the toy. And is he there? There's Sad Pac-Man. So, pull the pin. And I like the small amount of changes they've made to this. Because if I compare it to, say, a regular key, it is a bit bigger. The butt end is a bit bulkier. And I like the subtle touch of the inverting of the colors. The black on the outside with the main color on the inside. It makes this key stand out a tiny bit more. Well, excuse me. And you have a little picture of Trigger right there. And the glitter background is really nice, adds into the theming of the form. And that little bit also looks cool. And the fact that his sort of outline here is also a triangle. It's all theming. So, besides that, it is essentially the same kind of thing, except it's got a slightly bigger butt. And don't we all want that? So, sounds. Yeah, that noise, which I believe is probably him summoning the key. Because as opposed to wearing this one on his belt, he just kind of like holds out his hand and basically summons it. And yeah, oh yeah, the full name of the form is Glitter Trigger Eternity. And now I would transform him, but I can't remember his call. So, you know what? I'm going to do it even though I can't remember. I remember part of it. But. Glitter Superior! So you get that effect. Ultraman Trigger! I can't remember the rest of the call. So this is a weird way to describe it, but a very sparkly sounding transformation. That's honestly the best way I could describe those sounds. They sound very sparkly, very glittery. Appropriate. But you also get 3 sounds, I believe. And instead of summoning the arms, what was the name of the sword? Fuck, I can't remember. It summons the Glitter Blade, the unique weapon for this form. Circle arms, I remembered. So that's that, and we'll do the other set of sounds. This also, every hyper key has a second set of sounds. Okay, so the sounds aren't as cool as the ones for Zed. Also, I forgot to do the. I'm not going to do that now, but I did forget to do that after. But yeah, I also like the fact that Trigger actually gets a form based around the glitter. Because again, we have to go back to Tiga for a bit. Tiga did have a supposed glitter form, which was created by everyone, because Ultraman, you have to explain this a bit. They're beings of light, so they're beings that survive on positive energy. So if everyone around them is, releasing, trying to give them positive energy, it happens literally. So a massive group of people all were trying to support Tiga and give him their energy, and it revived him, but it also covered him in a sort of golden glow, which is referred to as glitter Tiga. That form was not permanent, and it was also one he didn't have access to on his own. It just sort of happened. So I like that they took that idea and said, no, we're giving him a proper new form. But this is definitely not, in my opinion, his final form. Nothing about this screams final form. It screams first power up, besides his 3 base forms. And it doesn't have all the sound effects you associate with a Bandai final form toy, like uh, lines from the show, from the actor, stuff like that. That that, in my opinion, is the main hallmark of Bandai Japan Final Form items. Is they always have lines from the show. So we're only 15 episodes in. Episode 15 has aired recently. I have yet to watch it, but I imagine that he will get at least probably one more power up, maybe 2. I'd stretch it to say he'd get 2, because you never know with modern Ultraman having shortened seasons of less than 40 episodes. You never know how many power ups they're actually going to get. You talk about limited power ups, friggin' Taiga over there saying, "Hello, where are my forms?" He got he got extra Ultraman instead of new forms. So I don't know what's coming next, because Tiga didn't have any other forms you could base powers off of. He had the dark forms, which we've mentioned in the previous video or now in this video for Dark Trigger, but they've already gone down that road. They've gone down that road and they've closed the door on that. Although they do have one of the other characters in the show supposedly getting his own Ultraman style powers with a darker version of this. I'm still wondering where they're going, because spoiler for episode 15 and 14, Ultraman Ribbit appears. He appears in episode 14. Friggin' a non-Japanese. I can't remember if he's Filipino. I know he's from, Ultraman Ribbit was in a different country, and then he was brought in to the greater Ultraman canon as a part of the the Galaxy Rescue Force. I don't know. I might be wrong about the Filipino thing. I can't. I have to look it up. Because he definitely has a unique martial art to him that makes him stand out. Galaxy Rescue Forces. Oh, Malaysia. Oh, okay. The Malay word ribbit not being the sound a frog makes, but meaning storm in English. Interesting. So, is he Malaysian? That makes sense. I don't know why. I mean, there's a famous martial art associated with the Philippines. Not Eskrima. Was it? Is his name Eskrima? That's probably what I'm thinking of because Ultraman Ribbit has a unique fighting style. But, well, you learn something new every day. Anyway, I do recommend this key if you're collecting all of them. Like, it's a cool looking key. I would say you can get it on your own if you want. You might want to also watch the show on YouTube because I feel like I don't mention this enough. Suburaya, the company that owns Ultraman, releases the episodes of the show concurrently with when they release on TV on YouTube with English subtitles. And then after 2 weeks they take them down, and then later they re-release them with multinational subtitles. So whatever country you're probably in, whatever language you speak, you probably find subtitles for it. So like, go support them because unlike Toei, they're actually willing to give fans what they want. Freaking Toei will release 2 episodes of a Kamen Rider show with bad English subtitles and then never go back to it and then take them down. And you're just fucked. So I like this toy. I'm quite enjoying the hyper keys, the guts hyper keys. I definitely want to get the ribbit one because he actually has a human host or a human form in Trigger. So I definitely want to get that key, and I want to see what comes next. So until then, keep it weird. Bye.